Sarvati. You watching Srikanth Ideal Chemistry. In this video, we are discussing about group 14 elements. So group 14 elements also called as a carbon family. Also called as carbon family. And group 14 contains elements carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. So in this, carbon is the non-metal, silicon and germanium are metalloids, tin and lead are the metals. Okay, and next is occurrence of 14 group elements. Occurrence. So first is carbon. Carbon is the 14th most abundant element. Carbon is 17th. Carbon is 17th most abundant element. In earth crust, and carbon is available in the form of diamond, graphite, coal, coke and charcoal. Here diamond and graphite are the crystalline forms, coal, coke and charcoal are the amorphous forms. And next is silicon. So silicon is second most abundant element in the earth crust. Second most abundant element in earth crust. Okay, silicon can be available in the form of can be available in the form of silica, silicates and silicones. They are available in the form of silica, silicates and silicones. And the most abundant form of silicon is cassiterate. Cassiterate. It is represented by They are the abundance form of the silicon. And next one is tin. So the most abundant form of the tin is cassiterate. So it is represented by SnO2. For lead, the most abundant form is galena, represented by PbS. Anglesite, represented by PbCO3, and cerusite, represented by Pb. Anglesite, it is chemical formula is PbSO4, and cerusite, its chemical formula is PbCO3. So these are the occurrence of fourth A group elements. And next one is electronic configuration. Electronic configuration. The general electronic configuration of fourth A group elements are NS2, NP2. Now we discuss the electronic configuration of 14 group elements. So here I just some columns. So first element is carbon. So it's represented by capital C. Its atomic number is 6 and electronic configuration helium 2s2 2p2. And second one is silicon, represented by Si. Atomic number is 14. Okay, and electronic configuration neon 3s2 3p2. And third one is germanium, represented by Ge. Atomic number is 31 and atomic number is 32. And electronic configuration is argon 3d10, 4s2, 4p2. And fourth one is tin, represented by Sn. Atomic number is 50. Electronic configuration krypton, 4d10, 5s2, 5p2. And last one is lead, represented by Pb. Atomic number 82. Electronic configuration xenon, 4f14, 5d10, 6s2, 6p2. So these are the electronic configuration of 14 group elements. And next one is physical properties. Physical properties. The first one is covalent radius. Covalent radius. So the covalent radius of 14 group elements gradually increase down the group. So increase down the group. Next is metallic nature. Metallic nature. The metallic nature of 14 group elements increase down the group. Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. And next is melting point. Melting point. So the order of melting point of 14 group elements is carbon is highest melting point due to carbon-carbon strong bond, after silicon, after germanium, after lead, and tin at last. And next one is about ionization energy. Ionization energy. So the ionization energy of 14 group elements are decrease down the group. So carbon is highest, after silicon, after germanium, after lead, after tin. This is order of decreasing order of ionization energy. Next one is electronegativity. Electronegativity of 14 group elements. The electronegativity of 14 group elements decrease down the group. So carbon is highest one, after silicon, after germanium, after tin, after lead. So this is the decreasing order of electronegativity of 14 group elements. And next and the last physical property is oxidation state. The next one is catenation. Before going to oxidation, I just want to discuss about catenation. So the catenation property of 14 group is very high in the entire periodic table. So when you see the order, carbon having highest catenation property in the entire periodic table after silicon, and the catenation property can be decreased down the group when compared to the carbon remaining elements having very less catenation property. For lead is almost negligible. So then order is carbon is very higher than silicon, after germanium and tin almost having similar catenation property, and lead at last. Okay, this is about catenation property of 14th group elements. And next one is allotropies of allotropic properties of carbon. So the allotropic property of carbon also gradually decreases down the group. So allotropy so it is also gradually decreased down the group. So carbon is very high, after silicon, after germanium, after tin, and lead at last. It is almost also negligible. So carbon shows the various allotropic forms, both crystalline amorphous forms, diamond and graphite example for crystalline form, coal, coke, charcoal example for amorphous forms. Okay, and last physical property is oxidation state. So when you observe the oxidation state, all group members can show the oxidation state like +4 and +2, but carbon and silicon shows only +4 oxidation state. So here carbon and silicon shows +4 oxidation state, but germanium, tin, lead shows both +2 and +4 oxidation states due to inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect. Okay, if you observe the stability of +4 oxidation state, stability of +4 oxidation state decrease down the group. So germanium having maximum after tin, after lead. At the same time, if you observe the stability of +2 oxidation state, stability of +2 oxidation state, it is increased down the group. So germanium is least, tin is next, and lead is highest due to inert pair effect. So these are about the physical properties of 14 group elements. And next one is chemical properties. So chemical properties of 14 group elements. In that, first we discussing about oxides. So 14 group elements can form various oxides. We will discuss one by one. So if you take the carbon can form 3 type of oxides: carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and C3O2 is special type of oxide we call as carbon suboxide. Its name is carbon suboxide. So in that, carbon monoxide is a neutral oxide, and carbon dioxide is a acidic oxide. After silicon, if you take the oxides of silicon can form only one type of oxide, that is silicon dioxide. It is acidic in nature, and at high temperature it can form silicon monoxide, but its existence is very less. When you go for the germanium, so germanium can form 2 type of oxide, GeO. One is monoxide, another one is dioxide. Both are acidic oxides. Both are acidic in nature. When you go for the tin also can form 2 type of oxides, SNO and SNO2. Both are M-photoric oxides. And next is lead. Lead also can form 2 type of oxide, PbO and PbO2. Both are can form M-photoric oxide, or M-photoric in nature, or slightly basic. So this is about the oxides. And next one is reaction with water. Reaction with water. So in 14 group elements, except in remaining are cannot react with water or cannot affected by with water, but tin can affected with water at high temperature. It can form tin dioxide. So carbon, silicon, germanium, lead cannot affected by water, but tin can react with water at very high temperature, and it form tin dioxide and liberate the hydrogen gas. So this is about reaction with the water. And next one is halides. So halides. So 14 group elements can form 2 type of halides. Those are form MX2 and MX4 type halides. They can form 2 type of halides. One is MX2 and another one is MX4. So when you observe that, first I discussing about dihalides. So in dihalides, when you're discussing about dihalides, except carbon, silicon, remaining can form the dihalides. So except carbon and silicon, remaining can form dihalides. So when you observe the thermal stability of dihalides, it will be decrease down the group. thermal stability of dihalides decrease down the group. So in dihalides, germanium dihalides are more stable when compared to the germanium dihalides. Tin have less stable, and for lead is almost very less thermal stability. So this is about the dihalides. When you go for the tetrahalides, so in tetrahalides, SnF4 and PbF4 are ionic, remaining are covalent. So all are covalent except SnF4 and PbF4. Why? Because both are covalent. These two are the covalent in nature. Okay, and next one is the tetrahalides of lead in a tetrahalides of lead chloride is stable and lead bromide unstable and lead iodide not exist. So in tetrahalides of lead, PbCl2 is stable, PbBr2 unstable, and PbI4 cannot be exist. All tetrahalides are hydrolyzed by water except carbon tetrachloride. All are undergoes hydrolysis except carbon tetrachloride. Why? Because due to absence of vacant diameters. Due to absence of vacant d orbitals. So this is about the chemical properties of 14 group elements. Next is allotropies of carbon. Before going to the allotropies of carbon, I want to discussing about anomalous behavior of carbon. The reason for the anomalous behavior of carbon due to small atomic size. It is due to small atomic size, high electronegativity, and absence of vacant d orbitals. Okay, and here I want to discuss about some points here. So carbon can show the maximum covalency 4, but a remaining element shows the maximum covalency more than 4 due to presence of d orbitals. Maximum covalency of carbon is 4, but remaining shows more than 4 due to presence of vacant d orbitals, and the tendency of catenation is maximum for carbon when compared to the remaining. So tendency of catenation maximum for carbon when compared to the remaining. So these are the some anomalous behavior of carbon. Next is allotropy of carbon. Allotropies of carbon. So in allotropies of carbon, mainly 3 allotropic forms are very important. That is diamond, graphite, and fullerene. In this, diamond and graphite are natural allotropies, and fullerene is artificial allotropy. So when you observe the differences between diamond, graphite, and fullerene, so diamond is the hardest substance, graphite is a soft layered structure. It is also hard in nature. And when you observe the hybridization in diamond, sp3 hybridization, the carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization. In graphite, sp2 hybridization. In fullerene also sp2 hybridization. Here shape is tetrahedral. Here planar, trigonal planar. Here soccer ball structure. Okay, in the soccer ball structure it consists of 12 pentagonal and 20 hexagonal rings are present in the soccer ball structure. Okay, and diamond it having a high it is a three-dimensional structure. Diamond is three-dimensional structure and graphite is a two-dimensional structure. So in the two-dimensional structure, so it is a bad conductor of electricity. Diamond is a bad conductor of electricity. Due to absence of free electrons. It is good conductor of electricity due to presence of free electron. Okay, and next is it having high refractive index. High refractive index, and it's used for cutting, grinding and drilling. It's used for making electrodes, for lead pencils. It is used as lubricant. So when you go for the fullerene, it is used for lightweight batteries. Used for lightweight batteries and used for microscopic ball bearings. Microscopic ball bearings. That's all. So these are the allotropics of diamond, graphite and fullerene. That's all. Compounds of carbon. Compounds of carbon. So in the compounds of carbon, we discussing about carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon suboxide and carbides. So first one is carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide is represented by CO. So carbon monoxide. So the carbon monoxide can be prepared by the partial combustion of coke. When graphite undergoes partial combustion or in limited supply of oxygen, it can form carbon monoxide. And at the same time, when formic acid, HCOH, when formic acid react with the concentrated H2SO4, in that time it can form the carbon monoxide and form the water. So there are some preparation of carbon monoxides. So carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, poisonous gas, and it is neutral oxide. So it's colorless, odorless, poisonous gas, and neutral in nature. So if you observe some properties, the carbon monoxide is used for the preparation of water gas, produced gas, semi-water gas, and used for the making of carbonyl compounds, and used as a reducing agent. So first I just take the preparation of water gas. When coke heated with water at 473 kelvins to 1273 kelvins, it can form mixture of carbon monoxide and hydrogen, we call as a water gas. It is also we can see the preparation of carbon monoxide. And when coke, nitrogen and water heated at 473 kelvins, it can form mixture of carbon monoxide, nitrogen and hydrogen. These mixture we call as a semi-water gas. Okay, and next is when a carbon react with a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen at 1273 kelvins of temperature, it can form mixture of carbon monoxide and nitrogen, we call as a producer gas. So all these are the example for preparation of carbon monoxide. Next we see the properties of carbon monoxide. So it is acting as a both reducing and complexing agent. It's act as a reducing agent. So when it is react with when a ferric oxide react with the carbon monoxide, it can form iron and carbon dioxide. At the same time, when zinc oxide react with the carbon monoxide, it can form zinc and carbon dioxide. At the same time, it is acting as a complex agent. It acts as complexing agent. So when it is react with when a carbon monoxide react with metals, here when carbon monoxide react with nickel, it can form the carbonyl compound. So these are the some properties of a carbon monoxide. Next is a carbon dioxide. Next one is a carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. So when you see the preparation of carbon dioxide, so when carbon react with undergoes combustion with the oxygen, it can form the carbon dioxide. It is complete combustion. So carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. It's colorless, odorless, tasteless gas, and acidic in nature. Then solid CO2 is called dry ice. So this is about carbon dioxide. When I take the structure of carbon dioxide, it is a linear structure. Carbon dioxide has a linear structure. If you need the hybridization, it is a sp hybridization. And carbon monoxide also linear structure. It consists of carbon oxygen with a triple bond. So this is the structure of carbon monoxide. Okay, and next is carbon suboxide. Carbon suboxide, and it formed as C3O2. So the carbon suboxide can be prepared from the malonic acid. When malonic acid undergoes dehydration, it can form the carbon suboxide. Malonic acid, its structure is COOH, CH2 taken 3, COOH. So this is malonic acid. When malonic acid react with phosphorus pentoxide, it can form carbon suboxide and form the orthophosphoric acid. So it's having a fuel like smell. It's a odor, fuel like smell. And when you observe the structure of carbon suboxide, it will be present like, so this is the structure of carbon suboxide. When carbon suboxide undergoes strong heating at 473 kelvins, it can form the carbon dioxide. So when carbon suboxide heated at 473 kelvins of temperature, it can form carbon dioxide and carbon. That's compounds of carbon. Last one is carbides. So here we have three types of carbides. One is ionic carbides, covalent carbides, and interstitial carbides. So those are three types. Ionic carbides, covalent carbides, and interstitial carbides. So carbides are three types: ionic carbides, covalent carbides, and interstitial carbides. If you see the examples for ionic carbides, most of the ionic carbides are elements of 1A and 2A. Example here: Be2C, Mg2C3, Al4C3, and CaC2. When you go for the example for covalent carbides, B4C, SiC. For example of interstitial carbides, that is TiC and WC. Okay, titanium carbide and tungsten carbide. So these are the carbides of fourth group elements or carbon. And next one is compounds of silicon. Compounds of silicon. In the compounds of silicon, we can discussing about oxide of silicon dioxide, silicons, and silicates. So first night, just take the silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide. So it is represented by SiO2. The silicon dioxide is also called as silica. So SiO2 is also called as silica, and it is a covalent three-dimensional network solid. It's covalent three-dimensional network solid. It has a tetrahedral arrangement. It has tetrahedral arrangement in three-dimensional. And next one is silicons. So silicons are the polymeric organosilicon compounds. So silicons are also called as polymeric. These are polymeric organosilicon compounds having a SiO-Si bond. These are having high thermal stability. These are thermally stable in nature. And then if you see the general formula of silicons, silicons are represented by R2SiO taken in here, or you can take methyl, ethyl, and propyl, etc. So in the silicons are mainly three types: linear silicons, or cyclic silicons, and cross-linked silicons. So these are the types of silicons. Now we see the preparation of silicons. So when a dialkyl dichlorosilicon react with undergoes hydrolysis, it can form R2SiOH taken to. After on strong heating, here water will be lost. It can form the linear silicons or cyclic silicons. At the same time, when R3 trialkyl silicon chloride undergoes hydrolysis, it can form trialkyl silicon chloride by the loss of hydrogen chloride. On strong heating, by the losing of water molecule, it can form dimer silicons. And next, when alkyl silicon trichloride undergoes hydrolysis, it can form R3 can form RSiOH taken 3. On strong heating, by the loss of water molecule, it can form cross-linked silicons. So they are the preparation of various type of silicons. And when you see the uses of silicons, silicons are generally used in sealant, greases, electrical insulators. Silicons are used in sealant, greases, and in electrical insulators. At the same time, these are used in the cosmetic and surgical plants. Used in cosmetic and surgical plants. So this is about the silicons. And next one is silicates. Next one is silicates. So silicates contains tetrahedral SiO4 minus 4 units. It contains tetrahedral SiO4 minus 4 units. These are classified into various types. So we will discuss one by one. First means orthosilicates. So orthosilicates contains tetrahedral SiO4 minus 4 units. If you take the examples for orthosilicates, Be2 SiO4 and Zr SiO4. And next one is pyrosilicates. So pyrosilicates are formed by the joining of two tetrahedral units by one oxygen atom. So when two tetrahedral units joined by oxygen atom to form Si2O7 minus 6 unit. So if you take the example for pyrosilicates, example is Se2 Si2O7. And next one is cyclic silicates. Next type is cyclic silicates. So these cyclic silicates are prepared by formed by the two tetrahedral units are shared two oxygen atoms. So these are formed by two tetrahedral Si4 minus 4 units share two oxygen atoms to form SiO3 minus 2 taken N, or SiO3 minus 2N taken N units. Next is chain silicates. When you see the chain silicates formed by the sharing of two oxygen atoms share two oxygen atoms by two tetrahedral units to form SiO3 minus 2 N, or SiO3 N minus 2N units. The only difference between cyclic and chain silicates, these are in closed ring form, these are open chain form. That is the only difference between cyclic and chain silicates. And next one is sheet silicates. So these are formed by the sharing of 3 oxygen atoms per 1 tetrahedron. Sharing of 3 oxygen atoms by 1 tetrahedral unit to form Si2O5 minus 2 taken N unit. And last one is 3-dimensional silicates. So in 3-dimensional silicates, they share the 4 oxygen atoms per tetrahedron. So sharing 4 oxygen atoms by 1 tetrahedral unit. And here I just want to say some 2 important man-made silicates. Those are glass and cement. So glass and cement are man-made silicates or artificial silicates. Okay, this is about the types of silicates. And last one is zeolite. So zeolites are formed by replacing of some of the silicon atoms by aluminum atoms in a 3-dimensional network of silica formed by replacing of silicon atoms by aluminum atoms in a 3-dimensional network of SiO2. It having a with a negative charge. So the negative charge balanced by the adding of cations like sodium, potassium and calcium. So it's balanced by cations like sodium, potassium and calcium ions. Okay, so here we can say the best example for zeolites, that is feldspar. Here for this type of structure we can say the examples like feldspar. Its formula is KAlSi3O8, and another one is zeolite. Its formula is NaAlSi2O6 dot H2O. And next zeolites are use of zeolites, those are used as a catalyst in photochemical reactions. Used as catalyst in photochemical reactions. Next, and it is used for a softening of hardness of water, softening of hard water by ion exchange in permitted process. Used for softening of hard water by ion exchange in a permitted process. In the zeolites, ZSM5 is a good example for zeolite. ZSM5 is used for the conversion of alcohol directly to the gasoline. So ZSM5 used for convert alcohol directly to gasoline. So these are the use of zeolite. So this is about group 14 or fourth group or carbon family. Okay students, if you like my concept, please subscribe to my channel. Please like and share my videos. Thank you.